this video, we're going to factor a trinomial by grouping. It says, which of the answer choices is a correct grouping of the following trinomial? So they actually don't want you to go through the whole process, but I'm going to, and I'm just going to answer this question as I do. So it says 4x squared plus 19x plus 21. We're going to take the first term. So when you do factor by grouping, you take the first term. So I'm going to write this first leading coefficient times the last term. All right, so 4 times 21 is 84. And then we're going to find the factors that add to the middle term. So it's not any different than when we factor a regular trinomial. So then we'll say, then find the factors that add to the middle. Middle term. Okay, 84, let's see. Well, we know 4 and 21. We just did that. So 5 doesn't work. Does 6 work? And using a calculator will probably help you out with some of these. So let's see, does 84 divided by 6 is 14. So we got 6 and 14. Let's kind of add these as we go. So that's 25. That's not 19. This one's 20. Again, not 19. So let's do 84 divided by 7. 7 and 12. That is 19. So we can go ahead and write this then as 4x squared plus 19x plus 21 is actually equal to 4x squared. We split the middle term to 7x and 12x. So plus 7x plus 12x. And then plus 21. And then we're going to do the factor by grouping part. So you can see we didn't change anything. The 7x and the 12x still add to 19x. But now here's where the grouping part comes. So I'm going to factor x out of the first two terms. So when I do that, I get x, and that leaves you with 4x plus 7. And then on the last two terms, I'm going to factor a 3 out of the last two terms. So we factor a 3 out, and we get plus 3. That leaves you with 4x plus 7. And if you get the same, right, we notice that this is the same as this piece. If they are the same, then this thing is factorable. If they are not the same, it is not factorable. So because it is factorable, now we're going to factor out 4x plus 7. And when we do that, we get 4x plus 7 times what's left. When you divide that out of the first term, you get x. When you divide it out of the second term, it'd be plus 3. And so this is the factored form for this expression here, and we use factor by grouping to do it. Now the original question they asked you was, which one of these did you end up with after the first step when you do the grouping part? So you can see which one we ended up with right there. Okay, it was the 7x and the 12x. So this was the solution to that question. But this is what they're going for, right? That's just an intermediate step to get to this piece. Let's do another factor by grouping. So we're going to, again, multiply the -6 times the -7, and that gives you 42. And then we want to take the factors of 42 and see which ones add to 17. So we got 6 and 7. That adds to 13. Let's go with maybe 3 and 14. Yeah, 3 and 14 work, so that's 30, 42, yep, so that is 17. So that 3 and 14 are the two factors we want to use. So we write negative 6x squared plus 3x plus 14x minus 7. Now we're going to factor I'm going to factor an x, and I'm going to factor a negative 3 out. So I factor negative 3 out, and I get, I get negative 3x factored out. That leaves you with 2x and minus 1, right, if I divide this by negative 3x. And then on this side, I'm going to factor out a 7, so I end up with plus 7, and then that would be 2x minus 1. Now notice that these two things are the same, right? So I haven't changed anything yet, and these two things are the same, so we know it's factorable. So we factor 2x minus 1 out, so it's dividing it out. Write that out front. And what's left when I divide it out of the first term is negative 3x, and when I divide it out of the second term, I get plus 7. And so this is the factored form of the original trinomial. Now the question they wanted us to answer was which one of these was that intermediate step. Well, you can see our intermediate step right here, and that would be that solution there.